So this video is about how I taught my dog to drive my pickup truck. Let me start by addressing the obvious. Yes, I'm that guy who taught his cat to drive. If you've seen the videos, you know I did it out of necessity. How else was I supposed to free up my hands to catch up on TikTok videos while we zipped around town? Teaching my cat to drive was a rousing success, minus the occasional moment when he mistakes the gas pedal for the brake because he saw a bird he doesn't trust. But now, friends, the saga continues because my dog saw the cat driving and decided it was his turn. Woo! It started innocently enough. The dog padded into the kitchen one morning, looked at me with those soulful eyes, you know how they do, and asked, "When do I get to drive?" He didn't use words, of course, but it was in the tilt of his head, the twitch of his tail, and the accusatory way he glanced at my car keys hanging on the hook. I told him, sure, why not? Because I'm apparently now the Dr. Doolittle of driver's ed, but he had one demand. He would only drive my pickup truck. That's right. Driving the sedan is bad for my image, his eyes seemed to say. I'm not a hatchback kind of guy. Fine, okay, the truck it is. Just like the cat, I rigged up a system with pool noodles so his paws could reach the pedals. And just like the cat, I wasn't entirely sure he could handle it. So off we went to the back roads, no traffic, wide open spaces, plenty of opportunities for him to figure out where the turn signal is. Now, to his credit, the dog took to driving like a Labrador takes to a lake. Steering, easy. Braking, adequate. Keeping his tongue inside the vehicle, failure. Things were going swimmingly, however, until he spotted a rabbit by the side of the road. That's when instincts took over. One sharp swerve later, and we were plowing through a chicken coop at full speed. Feathers filling the air like we'd driven into a live-action pillow factory. Chickens squawked and scattered, clucking their outrage. And a rooster with delusions of grandeur chased us down the road, talons out and vengeance in his beady eyes. It was wild. Stay calm, I said to my dog, who responded by sticking his head out the window and barking something that sounded like, "I regret nothing." By some miracle, we escaped the farm without serious damage, except, of course, to the chicken community's trust in humanity. Once we were back on the road, my dog settled into the driver's seat like he'd been born to it. We made our way to the coffee shop drive-thru, where he ordered a pup cup with all the swagger of someone who definitely knows how to parallel park. By the way, he does not know how to parallel park. The barista, bless her heart, didn't even bat an eye when she saw him in the driver's seat. "Love the truck," she said, as she handed over his whipped cream-filled cup. He nodded in approval and licked it clean before we even left the parking lot. Next, we hit the park for some squirrel reconnaissance. I'd like to point out that while he chased squirrels, I stayed in the passenger seat scrolling TikTok. This is the life I always dreamed of, delegating the driving and barking while I double-tap videos of people falling off paddleboards. Now, when the squirrels started to taunt him from the safety of the trees, we headed to the pet store, where he carefully selected a new squeaky toy that looks like a raccoon. It's a little bit on the nose, but I didn't say anything. Our only real hiccup of the day happened back in the pet store parking lot. Some distracted driver, probably texting or daydreaming about chicken nuggets or something, bumped our truck from behind. It was a minor love tap, but my dog wasn't having it. He sprang up, stuck his head out the window, and unleashed a torrent of barking sass so intense the other driver peeled out of there like they'd accidentally rear-ended a police cruiser. My dog hopped back into the seat, tail wagging like he'd won a street fight, and we drove off in triumph, I guess. The moral of the story, dogs may not be natural drivers, but, with a little ingenuity and a lot of pool noodles, you got to get the length just right, they can get the job done. Is it practical? Heck no. Is it legal? Also no. But is it hilarious watching your dog's ears flap in the wind as he cruises through life, leaving a trail of feathers, barking sass, and pup cups behind him? Absolutely.